So it was done sort of holistically. So there was, the assembly, there was letters went out to all parents, the kids were talking about it, and then there was little groups done in class. So some people from public health had come in and spoken to the individual classes and made sort of age-appropriate material, so discussed not only the sort of harm of smoking, because we didn't want to make it all negative and frightening, because I remember when I was in school it was like, smoking's going to kill you, and you saw a horrible lung, and it was all terrifying. I still went on to smoke, but that sort of approach. It was more sort of looking at the cost of it, and that actually, other people smoking around you, because children obviously have a lot of issues from second and third hand smoke as well. So we knew it was obviously high smoking prevalence here, so the kids were quite interested in it and finding out about it. And I know some of the public health teams had done with some of the older children, like, this is how many bucks you could buy on Fortnite if you weren't smoking, and this is how much slime you could buy, and really sort of tailoring it to them. So the children were chatting about it, and then we were encouraging them to talk to those people at home, so their caregivers, their parents, their grandparents, to say, why don't you come and speak to somebody? So then following that, then we offered the support to the parents and friends of the school, really, to come, and they had use of the room for them to drop in to see us. And then the other thing that was another sort of benefit was that we noticed there's a knock-on effect in the local services. So people accessing services in the surrounding areas had mentioned that the reason they'd come was because their grandchildren or whatever had asked them to give up smoking. So I think the nagging of the children to grandparents and friends and family had a bit of an impact in the wider community as well.
So we did an assembly for the children to say, if your parents or somebody that gave up, they would have £1,000 to spend on you for Christmas. So so they all had a letter then after the assembly, and they had lessons that day that they went home to give to their parents, and for the children to talk about it and on the benefits of, besides giving up smoking, about the money that they could have for Christmas. So I know that some of the children went home and said, "Dad, do you want £1,000 for Christmas?" So they were all going, "Well, yes, of course." So we were saying, "Well, you need to look at this then." But it's had even a further knock-on effect, because we do quite a lot of community group work and community engagement. And we had a mum yesterday that said that she has also given up and has also taken up running. So the messages are still getting out there from the children, so it's had a drip effect. I underestimated actually about the percentage of people who smoked, because I know in some classes when I popped in to observe the lessons going on, and they asked the children how many children had somebody in their house who smoked or in their family who smoked, and there was I would say about 2/3 of the class had their hands up. So I was really quite shocked as to the high numbers.
Yeah. She was absolutely fab, and they were just so supportive. It was, saying how proud they are of you made you feel really welcome. Getting breathless when I was doing things. I have none of that now. Like I said, I've actually took up running, which I haven't done for many years. More for the smell on my children, knowing that, even though I was going outside, that when I came back in, the smell was still on me. And if I've got a four-year-old, my youngest, and cuddling her, knowing that smell was moving on to her as well. I think that's what really made me think to myself, right, I want to do this for me, for myself, but I wanted to also do it for them, for their health as well, for them not to be around. Right, so every week then we'd be welcomed, we'd be made a cup of coffee, and we'd sit down, we'd have a chat. They'd asked how I was getting on, was there any times I found difficult. They give us ideas on what to do, so like have a little box ready, so you've got your sweets that you can suck on, rather than obviously the nicotine chewing gum. I started off with the inhaler and the patches, and within about 3 weeks I decided I didn't want the patches anymore, and I kind of come off it really quickly, but a big difference to me, and I never gave in. We were tested then every week for carbon monoxide levels, which I did get one which was 0, but it's normally around 0 and 1 anyway, because of the pollution outside. So yes, that really helped as well, knowing that you're being you know, tested every week. So it's one of those things, and you kind of feel proud then when they keep praising you and saying, right, you know, you're doing really well, stick with it. And it kept me going, really kept me going, yeah. And I did enjoy then. I took up running, and I did enjoy doing that. So that was, we started off once a week, and then we started doing it twice a week. And each week, as I give up, I noticed I was running further. You know, I wasn't getting out of breath as quick. Yeah, it was really good.
Fantastic.
It was a good education opportunity. They learnt all about the dangers of smoking, of passive smoking as well. They learnt about the law. So it was, and also about the costs. So I think it was a good learning experience, and hopefully a motivator in the future for not to take it up. They were all very keen in getting the people that they knew involved in giving up, and many children left that day saying, I know who I'm going to be speaking to, I know who I'm going to be speaking to. And in fact, recently I had a pupil in here who had some worries, and one of her worries was that about her mother, because she was smoking and she realised that she'd got a bad chest, and so she raised it again with her mum. So there is pupil pressure.